Yeah. And we are live. Sound minds.
So here we are, my people. 5th season, 3rd episode, May 16th. We done passed Mother's Day, so it is what it is. But nonetheless, though, what we're going to talk about today in this episode is youngtrepreneurs. And the definition by that, and please do not look it up in Webster's dictionary or any of those corny dictionaries that you would probably look at. This right here is poetical license. So youngtrepreneur, oh, there he goes. Youngtrepreneurs, by definition, is a entrepreneur who is young, who is doing what they're doing and invested in themselves. And we're going to get into some great questions. We're going to get into a great conversation with these youngtrepreneurs that we have today. Two of my favorite people I've ever met in my life. You know what I mean? So I say I'm fortunate to even have them on here today. We have Diana Lee with Boxed Up Blossoms. This is her own creation, and she's going to get into what that is. And then we have Hector Castillo, who is the creator and founder of Don Carvajal Coffee. So these are the two young people, youngtrepreneurs. When we say youngtrepreneurs, we're going to get into all that. So round of applause for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we got a couple of I don't even know how to announce this, but as much as I am, we got a couple of specials. So shout out to Dad is not a nail.
One of them, I'm gonna cut you off. I'm
Go
gonna
ahead,
cut
brother.
you off and let them know what one of them is, because things might be looking a little different around here on the Sound Minds podcast, man. So if y'all don't know, you can see now, I don't have the mane hanging over here on my shoulders. I'm gonna have to make the screen big for the family real quick. I don't got my mane. Where's my mane? Where is my mane that hangs over my shoulders? That my 20-inch long locks. They gone, family. They gone.
He done joined the family. He done joined the family.
Look at this. Hold up. We go.
Transition time.
Yeah, my brother done cut his locks off, so now he joined the bald head crew. But that is, though, a very out of the way type of thing. We didn't expect that, because when he showed me, you know what I mean, I was like, damn, my brother done cut his head, you know what I mean? But
it literally just happened. Yep.
So my brother cut his locks off, right? My other brother went and got that the double dosage.
Jab. They call it the jab.
The double dosage of the I don't know what. And so on today's live, we're gonna have him, as we have heard that once you get the COVID vaccine, if you put a magnet to your arm or wherever you put wherever you got shot up at, there's supposedly some magnetic X-Men type of feel that comes with it. So my brother's gonna try that, and then on top of that,
you become Magneto out here, Right. And look, obviously it's a conspiracy. We about to test it right now and see if it's true. Right here, live, right now. It's going viral on TikTok. You got people putting magnets to their arm where they got stuck at. My brother just finished his second shot. We about to see. We gonna see if it's real. He ain't never tried it. He ain't even never heard of it. He ain't never heard of it, and he ain't never tried it. So we about to do this live right now.
Type MAG for Magneto if you think it's gonna stick, and type X for Professor X if you think it's not gonna stick. Type MAG if you think it's gonna stick, and type a X if you think it's not gonna stick. We'll get back to you in a few minutes.
And while y'all doing that,
the comments.
While y'all doing that, another announcement we're going to put out here right now is Boxed Up Blossoms is offering some percentage off just off of this special episode. So Miss Diana Lee has taken off 15% off of her beautiful assortment arrangements and all the inventory that she has. If you type in Sound Minds on the what you call that? Work with me.
On the checkout. On the checkout.
Checkout. There you go.
Trying to help you out.
Thank you.
So you put the info. It says enter promo code. You put Sound Minds, no spaces, right?
No
Sound,
spaces.
No spaces.
with the S on the
No
end.
caps,
Right.
lowercase, sound minds.
And we're gonna get into the website. You're gonna see the website, boxedupblossoms.com.
Mm-hmm.
boxedupblossoms.com. If you want to
Some
go
of
check
y'all,
it out right now as you're listening.
You might have anniversaries. You might have a Mother's Day gift that you done missed out, or you just might just want to put a smile on somebody's face. So when you see the assortment and when you see what is being offered on Boxed Up Blossoms, you're going to definitely want to put in that Sound Minds, you know what I mean, get that discount, but at the same time, continue to support. So even if you buy this all for the percentage and you feel like, damn, this percentage is going to help me out with this sale right here, do not forget to come back and tell your friends about it. Also for Dan Carvajal coffee, I tell you, when I tell you, everybody who done tasted it is talking about it's probably the richest coffee they tasted. He grinds himself. He does everything himself. And when I don't know if we're going to speak ages today just because of, but when I tell you that everybody, our guests in here today are under 30, right?
Yeah.
Under 30. So this is what I mean by young entrepreneurs. You know what I'm saying? Ain't too many people touching the flower and industry and that type of field. Ain't too many people touching the coffee industry and that type of field. So here you are, two young entrepreneurs who are ready, set, have invested in themselves, and are giving back to everybody else. So when you need inspiration and motivation, you're looking at it right here in this screen. So by all means, please jump into that Boxed Up Blossoms, jump into that Don't Gotta Ride coffee. You know what I mean? You want to get on all that. And they, with all that being said, are we ready for the Magnet Challenge? What we doing?
I see a lot of mags in the chat. I see some
God,
mags.
I'm nervous. I don't know.
The Mags is winning.
I'm nervous.
The Mags, the Magneto.
Diana says she's nervous. She don't know.
I'm nervous.
Take a guess. Well, we need your guess. What's your guess? What's your guess, though?
I don't think it's gonna stick. I don't think so.
Not gonna stick.
Okay.
I'm gonna say no. I don't see it happening.
I appreciate you.
Hector, what's your vote?
Man. I mean, it depends on the brand, but I don't think it's overall gonna stick.
Okay.
Wait. That's a good question. What was the brand?
I'm gonna say brands.
Okay.
And I want y'all to shout out, post in the comments too. P for Pfizer. Okay. So PN if it's no. J for Johnson. JN if it's no.
Not the
And
J.
what's the other one?
If you got J, just end it. Just forget this. Forget the whole challenge.
I ain't gonna lie, I feel like there's an SAT test right now.
It's gonna stay there.
What do you think? What do you think? You think it's a difference if it's Pfizer, if it's Johnson or Moderna?
Yeah.
Which one you think? Which one you think is?
From what I've heard, I'm not vaccinated yet, but Moderna, I've heard good things about it. Johnson & Johnson, I haven't heard nothing good. So I hope.
But it was the baby powder when we was babies.
Yes, and they recalled the baby powder. If you got a Johnson & Johnson shot after they recalled their baby powder, then hello.
You know what? But that gives a great time to say this and plug this. We are not plugging no COVID vaccines here.
Nope.
Our brother happened to get it. You know what I mean? So it was his decision on his own to go get that, and we having fun with it.
Hold on. When he says happen to get it, let's be clear what he means in that sense. I did not happen to get COVID. I happened to get the vaccine.
Yeah. He went and got the vaccine. Yeah. But I mean, just to be very clear, Sound Minds is not in any way co-signing any vaccines. We're not co-signing. You don't get a vaccine. However your mentality and your situation, your setup is, by all means, follow through. We having some fun just based off.
Well, right now,
TikTok.
live, you gonna find out if you get the vaccine. Is that magnet gonna stick to your? Are you Magneto?
The Mags is still in the lead. Magneto's still in the lead. Okay.
They want to know.
So first of all, the reveal, it was Pfizer, y'all. Definitely Pfizer. All right. Could I get a drum roll, please?
Oh man, we go beyond that. But we go.
Let's make you tell somebody actually hitting some drums up. Go ahead, brother. There you go.
You know it's real because you got the
three. Now it's supposed to just stick right to it.
Yep. Take that.
Let's see what happens, man.
Take that Band-Aid off. Take the Band-Aid off.
I wouldn't even trust that though.
You're a professional. Right? You're a professional.
Oh God.
There we go. 1, 2.
Let's go.
There we go.
Wolverine.
Let's
Cyclops.
There we go. But you know
He's
what's
great.
crazy? I kind of feel like it got stuck to that Band-Aid though. How about that one? You know what I mean? Yo, so listen, man. All in fun, but now let's get to work, man. First and foremost, I'm gonna say it straight out the box, as I said it already. These two right here are two of my favorite. And I'm gonna be very clear. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be very transparent. These are two former students of mine that I've had the pleasure of working with. I am beyond, by far, prouder than probably anybody outside of who they were birthed by, just because I have so much love for them, and just to see them grow, and just to see them, you know, for the most part, jump into their own realms and their own lanes and say, nah, let me take this world by storm and let me show, you know, what investing in self looks like. So we are going to let them introduce themselves. As I gave them somewhat of a formal introduction, but this is now their personal introduction, so that we could all know who they are and what they offer, and not only that, but what it took to get where they are now. So once again, round of applause for Hector Castillo and Diana Lee Loaite. So proud of y'all.
Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe,
share with your friends, y'all.
And share with your friends.
Well, Diana Lee, you know I gotta let you go first. That's just the rule of the game.
I was here earlier, though. I was here earlier.
That's fine too.
I'll start first.
I just came off the hustle straight on. Like, I gotta hop on this real quick.
All right, it's fine. I'll start first. Well, my name is Diana Lee. I'm the owner to Boxed Up Blossoms. I started my business a little bit under a year. I'm actually gonna make a year in June. So it's really, really, really a brand new baby for me. I sell preserved roses that last beyond a year. I sell rose soaps. I sell rose teddy bears, fresh flowers. And I started my business literally in my living room, literally just in my house. It's not like I have a storefront or, you know, it's something that it's literally started here. I'm a single mother from the Bronx. And I just wanted to find my passion, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what my passion was. You know, I've worked corporate, I've worked this and many jobs, and I wanted to find something that I loved to do. And so I was having a conversation one day here with my best friend, and we're in the middle of a pandemic, and I lost my job, and I was like, what the hell am I gonna do? Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And she's like, well, what's something you love? And I was like, I don't know, my son. You know, like, once you become a parent, it's not even about you anymore. So you're like, I don't know, my son, I don't know. And so I always bought myself roses and flowers. I've always had a passion for flowers and roses. And I sat here and I did my homework. And I was like, I love flowers. So how am I going to do this here without having me to spend out thousands of dollars in inventory that I didn't have, you know? So I tapped into my savings and I started with my flower teddy bears. So they come like a styrofoam shaped of teddy bears, and I bought little, like, you know, foam roses to glue on it, and that was my first baby. But I knew that down the line I wanted to get into flowers and preserve roses. And yeah, those are my babies. How cute. So I started with that, and I was like, I don't know, are people even gonna like this? Are they gonna, you know, all right. So I started with a few colors and it sold. I was sold out in like 2 weeks, and like literally sold out. And I was like, they like it. So I continued, you know, and I saved up enough money to tap into preserved roses, because the preserved roses last beyond a year. So they last almost 2 years. You know, and so it's just not buying the preserved roses, it's finding the right vendor. It's, you know, finding the right box to put them in, what to put them in. How am I different from my competitors who cater to higher clientele? You know, I'm a girl from the Bronx, like, you know, so how am I going to build that clientele? Who's really going to spend money on these elite luxury flowers? And so I started just making my own way and making my own connections. I didn't have florist friends where I could just pick up the phone like, hey, what do I do now? It was literally just me starting from the bottom and making my own connections. And I tell ya, every single thing that I do and I put together for my business, I do it like it's for myself. And that's what makes me different from my competitors. 1,000,000%. So, it's a little bit of myself.
Let you have the bomb drop right there. Let's go. Great introduction. And we are going to get into so many questions about what you said. I know all three of us held back, questions because you sparked questions in all three of our minds. I know you did. So let's go ahead and let our brother Hector introduce himself.
Let's get it on and popping. I actually have like mad flowers right here. Wait, right here. There you go. I'm like in
There you go.
Wait, let me see.
Right there. Wait. I'm like, yo, it's on the other side right there. I always do farmers markets on the weekends, and I always bring flowers and stuff. I love flowers. It's just a vibe, So my name is Hector Castillo Carvajal. I am a kid from the Dominican Republic that was raised in the Bronx, and I've lived there ever since, man. And my life has been here. My education was here. I'm a kid from Fordham in the Bronx, and at some point, I think my life really took a different turn when I dropped out of high school, and I went back. That's why I met George, Mr. G,
Okay.
At a Bronx Haven High School, and my mentality was like, yo, okay, you're a kid from the Bronx, you have no education, so you therefore have zero value on the job market, right? Or any market, really, because you don't have anything to uphold, right? You have no skills. And went back to school, started doing my thing, and, got into things like building better men and leadership programs on campus, started doing community service, then got a small scholarship to go to community college. And I'm a first generation. So my mom was looking at me like, you need help with what? A college application? Yeah, I could barely help you with your math. You know what I mean? But it was one of those things of having that network of mentors where I could kind of go up to them like, yo, Mr. G, like, yo, how does this work? Like, yo, Max, what's financial aid? Like, what is that? Like, you know what I mean? So it was one of those things where it's like, yo, I'm like, thankfully I had a network of mentors, which is something you don't really see where we come from. Like, you don't really have people to guide you in certain ways of life. There's people to guide you, but probably not in an educational standpoint. You know what I mean? So make it to community college. I'm a kid from the Bronx. I've been a high school dropout. I was homeless at some point. I'm in college. Like, yo, let's get this money. Like, we here, we got tutors, we got books, we got scholarships. Let's get it. I was a horrible high school student when I started, but my ending in high school was not like that. So took advantage of school, did my thing, and got a Kaplan scholarship to go to University of Rochester. They gave me 72,000 out of 80. You know what I mean? And it was just like, let's get it. So community college, I did student government, did a lot of leadership activities. Got to travel everywhere. Yo, it was putting me on flights. I was like, yo, kid from the projects on flights twice a month. What is this? Like, I was just a school representative. My friends thought I was getting money. I'm like, bro, this is my school paying for this. So I experience all of these leadership activities and just throw myself out there. At the University of Rochester, I got to incubate my ideas, right? It was the first sense of like, yeah, I'm at an undergrad business school, and then there's the grad business school where I could talk to people who worked for really big companies and did their big things. You know what I mean? Like really big things. And that's where I started brewing up. Like at some point, I had a really good cup of coffee, and it just made me curious. I was like, yo, this coffee tastes different. Like, it don't need milk. It don't need sugar. Like, this is dope. They was like, oh, this is specialty coffee from Colombia in the mountains of whatever. And I'm like, what, bro? Like, me perdiste. Like, you got me lost right quick. And but I started looking into it. I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like, there's really like something called specialty coffee. It was like wine. Wine is not just wine from the supermarket. There's wine, right? There's coffee. There's cigars. Like, there's an elite. Right, there's an elite level to everything, right?
Absolutely.
You could buy a Honda, you could buy a Urus, Lamborghini. You know what I mean? It's just they're both cars, so it's one of those things. I started looking into it, got super curious. Fast forward, I made it into a class project in college, and last day of the presentation, we presented it. I take things very seriously. I pulled up to the class. We started brewing coffee. There was 50 students. Everybody got a cup. Everybody saw the beans. Everybody had a packaging in their face. I presented it. We got top of the class, best grade. The professor was just, I never had a student take science so seriously. I'm like, yo, where I come from, you give me one opportunity, we're gonna come. We're gonna come.
By the way, I keep ringing that bell because you keep dropping gems on only on your intro. You just dropping these gems of mentorship and taking your project serious to your presentation.
You feel me?
Go ahead, keep going, brother. Keep going.
So point is, presentation ends. Somebody raises their hand. Yo, I see you have some real coffee bags at the front of the class. Can I buy one? I'm like, okay, professor, chapter 13, proof of concept. Okay, blah, right? And then somebody, literally, how much? Like, your presentation said $17.95. He pulled out a 20, said, Toma. Bro, I'm used to my mom buying Bustelo 2 for $5. That's 4 times, right? 4 times the price of my mom pays, and somebody's giving me like that. So at that moment, I was like, this is it. Like I've always been passionate about business, period, entrepreneurship. Always. And I was just like, yo, this agriculture thing's connected to my roots back in DR and agriculture in the country. And I just did it. I had 50 pounds of coffee, sold out in like 2 days on Instagram. And I was just like, yo, people on Instagram like this. I'm like, yo, you can use Instagram to make money. You know what I mean? And it's just like, yo, why do you think there's influencers? So then, bro, I sold those 50 pounds. People kept on DMing me every week, like, yo, I need a refill. I was like, oh, word? Okay, oh, word. So we're going to make doncarvajalcafe.com, and you could go there anytime, 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning. It's a 24/7 shop. Okay, whenever you need beans, you go right there, and that was the start to the empire, man. That was the start to the empire, and yeah, we kept it rocking. Fun fact: before I close off the intro, I was supposed to go back to college for my last senior year, right? August 27, and then on like August 23rd, I got a call like, we want your coffee in 15 supermarkets, and I was just like, damn, son. Like, yo, it's either I go back upstate or I shut down the business. And it was just like, I could always go back to school, man. But like I already got my associates. I'm about to finish my bachelor's. But like this opportunity right here, like, yo, I wake up 4 or 5 in the morning regular. Like, where we at? I could have never woke up at 4 in the morning for school for the 9 to 5. But like for me, it was just like, yo, 4 in the morning, we're gonna get this cheddar. You know what I mean? Like I was sweating bullets when I walked in. We was doing farmers markets at 6 in the morning. You know what I mean? But like that's the drive. You know what I mean? And the hustle is real. So it's all about, just like what Diana Lee said, it's all about finding what you're passionate for and just hustling. So yeah.
So
I mean, you have to hit the bell. You have
I'm
to
gonna give a
hit
little
the gems,
context.
like even on the closing, you just have to. Like,
yeah. Nah, I'm gonna give a little context behind certain things. So, Miss Diana Lee, I was a dean in her high school, and that's where I met her. And when I tell you that, you know, you always see I've been blessed to say that I've worked with youth my whole life, and when you do see some that you just like, damn, nothing's gonna hold them down. And that's what Diana was. To me, like, I seen it straight off the rip. I knew that she was, no matter what it was, no matter what it could be, peer pressure, life, struggles, I knew that she was never just gonna be mediocre. I just knew it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, for the most part, to see her where she's at now, you know, years later, it's just kind of like it's a blessing, right? And I think I seen Mom leave a comment as well.
Yeah. Here.
Hey, Miss Iris, how you doing? And then fast forward, still working with the youth, right? And like I said, that's my passion. Nothing ever stopped me from doing that. And then I meet this young man by the name of Hector. When I tell you that his story is so crazy, like he was, you know, he wasn't always the best student. You know what I'm saying? He got into some things, nothing crazy, but got into some things where, you know, as in most Latino cultures, whenever our children act up, you get a quick pass right back to your country. So he did. And in doing so, he learned about what real struggle was. He learned what it was to pick from plantations just to be able to survive. And so when he came back to the States, I met him in a high school that was a transfer high school. So for those who don't know, transfer high schools are those for the students who supposedly can't make it in the regular school or didn't make it in the regular school. They're put in the transfer high school to kind of expedite or help them get their diplomas. When he says he was part of Building Better Men is a group that I ran for about 7 to 8 years. And I still say that I'm still running it just based off of the fact that I'm still involved with my young brother's lives.
Mind you, he called you George.
Oh yeah, nah,
So
that's
that's
my
light
little brother.
skin. That's
no, it's cool.
We don't know
people who don't know.
Right.
The people who don't know.
Just for those who heard,
me?
like,
Let it rock because it's his podcast.
when he told us, right,
for those who heard he had a mentor named George, he was referring to your brother like in every situation in nature.
That's my little brother, man. And you know, so for the most part, Building Better Men, philosophically, the thought process behind as to why I even did what I did was to take, suppose, young men who were not supposedly going to make it in life, those who were trying to, you know, in a sense, trying to make it through their hard times, but not necessarily expected to make it just based off of the fact of them being young black and brown men who were expected to not have a long life expectancy.
No, you talking about survive. You talking about survive, not make it.
Not more than survive in the sense of, because when we are boxed in certain categories and said to say that we're not going to make it in life because of who we are, how we see things and think. So Building Better Men was taking young black and brown, young men, putting them together and changing the mindset of certain things. Hector was part of Building Better Men, man. And shout out to BBM, man. Shout out to my little brothers, man, who are doing it in so many ways, because even certain staff members or certain adults may sometimes look at them like, yo, there goes another statistic. And when I see Diana and I see Diana Lee and I see Hector make it outside of that box of statistics, it's by all means where I salute them and commend them for understanding that nothing that nobody else says in your life is as important as what you say about yourself. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I just have to add the content into this dope interview we're about to get into.
Could I hear a gem drop on
that? That was crazy. He just laid up another gem for me too. Like I gotta jump in there, man. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they asked me, because people will look at me and they're like, Hector, you're successful. And I'll tell them, yes, I am, to a certain degree. To a certain degree, I am. But at the same time, I cut it short. Like, yes, but I got such a long way to go. I don't live in the house I want to live in. I don't drive the car I want to live. I want my mom to travel the world. I want my mom not to worry about anything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go out and pop bottles. I take care of my family. You feel me? Like, that's just how I move. So it's one of those things where, for me, I started reaping the biggest benefits and seeing the most success that I ever had when I realized who I was and where I came from. I wasn't trying to be like nobody else. I never...
Slow down a little bit.
Hector, we're not hearing your voice. If you could hear us, pause yourself and unpause yourself.
You good?
Can you hear me now? Yep. All right, cool. So for me, it was one of those things where when I really acknowledged who I was and where I came from and who I am, that's when I saw the most success, right? When it comes to a brand, right? Because I have a personal brand, Hector Castillo Carvajal, that's me. And then there's an extension of me, which is Don Carvajal Café. And my brand is an extension of me and what I believe in. And the way we speak, the brand voice, the way I present myself, people look at me like, yo, this kid is authentic. And that's why people rock with me. You know what I mean? I don't try to be like nobody else. I just do my own thing. And trust me, people try to imitate the brand or what we do and whatever, but they can never be Hector Castillo Carvajal. They can never be that kid who picked onions in a field in the Dominican Republic. They can never be that. They can never be that kid who survived every day walking to high school, because just the walk to high school was crazy, right? They can never be that, no matter where you come from. You know what I'm saying?
Based off what you even just said, though, about the picking onions in the field, right? Yeah, guess what? There were other kids that did that, but they did not see the value that you saw in it when you did it. That is the key difference in all of us. Like it, you know, when we can all do the same thing, but we're gonna get different perspectives and learn different lessons from what we do when we do that. You know what I'm saying? And you were able to take that and literally elevate yourself, you know, and then turn it into a business. You know what I mean? That's what I just wanted to highlight that point.
Absolutely. And I think that's why what Light said is so powerful when he said, the main thing he was trying to instill in our next generations is that there's no voice more important than the voice you repeatedly hear inside your own mind. And as an elder to y'all, I can tell you that in your darkest moments, in your most blinding shadows, that becomes even more powerful, because there's always a battle against the world. It might be the government, the lawyers, the vaccines. I mean, it could be all these things. But the older you get, you tend to get that under wraps pretty much. You got your businesses going, you got your children. It becomes the battles in your own friends, the battles within your own family, the battles within your own self-doubt. And these are people that you can't get away from you, the people that you love, right? So it's not a matter of pushing the enemy away. It's a matter of rewriting what I say to my loved ones and what I say to myself. So what y'all is saying is beautiful. The way my sister right here, this young lady, is talking about, those are my babies, when she shows the flowers on the screen. And even when she was looking for her path, right, saying, well, I love my kids. She had her children in mind when she picked her niche. You know, the way you said, one of the things that you're not saying that I'll just paraphrase in for you is, you know, my brother Hector, this young man, is saying, I came from the Bronx, I came from the projects, but I got this $80,000 college and I got a mostly scholarship and I got this opportunity. But what he's saying is, you might notice all the time, but even the friends around you in the Bronx, right, in DR, right, even your own self-doubt, you start to realize, what do I look like to the rest of the world? What do I look like when the cops see me on the highway? What do I look like when ladies see me across the street and think I'm a threat, right? Having that self-awareness to say, not only do I know what's inside me, but I'm accepting all these things of the way that we're looked at in the society, and I'm going to tell myself what I really am in spite of that.
Which leads me to a question for both of y'all. When as being so young and successful, and we're saying young and successful at the point that you are at right now, and we know that you are going to grow and become even more successful, but to be so young and successful, when did you craft or know your story as entrepreneurs to actually incorporate that story, that struggle into your brand? When did you know that? Was it a known point, or was it something that became natural to you?
So for me, I think when I realized was as I was growing my business. So I do everything by myself. I did my website by myself. I did the pictures by myself. I do the marketing by myself. I made the networking by myself. I deliver the flowers myself. So when people see me, it's my brand. I'm the owner. I don't have a delivery boy. It's me, because I'm still growing my business. So as I am growing my company and I'm getting more and more successful, I'm starting to realize my story is, I do it all by myself. I know what it is to be at the bottom. I know what it is to understand that you have to start somewhere, you know? And I think, Hector, you could jump in on this if you want, but when you do it and you're in it and you wake up at 6 a.m, you got to go to the farmer's market. That's what we have to do. It's not like you just call 10 people up like, yo, just go get me some coffee beans, or yo, just go get me my flowers. No, you have to get up. You got to do it. You got to jump on that and do that for yourself. So as you are growing your business, this is a story. This is what it is. This is how the story is developing, you know? And so it's just not a simple story. You know what I mean?
You can relate to the people.
And you're telling the journey, the journey, the ongoing journey.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And starting off, like I said, I started my business in the pandemic. So I started from my savings, like literally taking a risk. I don't know if this is going to sell. I don't know if people are even going to buy this. I don't know if they're going to like it. I didn't know. So
you telling me you're your own Bitcoin?
Yeah.
You are your own Bitcoin.
Pretty much.
You grew up in the pandemic.
In the pandemic. And getting feedback, you know, I dealt with so much fake pages and like haters and like not real customers, because my real customers would be like, oh my God, I love your work. I'm coming back. I would do Mother's Day. I would do this. I would do that. And then I used to get haters that would like make fake pages and be like expensive junk or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? Instead of me responding negatively, I said, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Let me offer you 20% off.
You know, my favorite
Let
one.
me make it right.
My favorite one is
Thanks
not.
to all the haters. I know G5.
No, it's not. You gotta hit them with this one.
Basis.
It's not that it's too expensive. It's just that you just don't see the value in it.
Right? Or you couldn't afford it. So let me help you. Let me just help you.
Flexification.
So that's what it is. But Hector, you could take it from here.
That's my favorite line. $3.81 for a cup of coffee. It's not too expensive. You just don't see the value in it. Like, I brewed this fresh. I grounded it fresh. I roasted it fresh. I imported it from South America. You didn't see that though. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, for me, I think that success and the story and the branding and everything, I think I'm a big go with the flow, man. And I'll tell you the truth, I'm not the most religious dude that you will find, but I'll tell you the truth, my brother, or my brothers and sisters, like, yo, when I was like 17, right before I went to my transfer school, I literally prayed to God and I was like, yo, God, change my life. Give me an opportunity. I don't know how this works, but like, I'm praying, right? Like, I'm talking to you right now. Change my life. I don't know how it works, but change my life. Then I got a letter in the mail. Hey, you just got accepted into the school. Boom. Okay. I guess I'm going to school. But I ain't see it like that, right? It's like people pray to God and it's like, God changed my life, but then the opportunities come and then they don't act up. You got to match God's work. You got to put in that work. You know what I mean? You can't ask
So we get a gem drop.
You can't be in a couch and
people think that you can just pray and God is gonna. No, you got to work behind that prayer. You got to
match that work
behind it. All right.
You gotta you gotta recognize the blessings.
Yes.
Fact.
You look. If you didn't look at that letter and be like, okay, I guess I'm going to college,
right.
Or you could have looked at the letter like, man, what's this? Like, I don't know if I want to do it. Let me do some research. Let me sleep on it. Let me think about it. Let me go ask my homie. Let me go ask my brother. Let me go ask my mama. Let me go ask my, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and it's one of those things where, like, I would say the main thing is to just go with the flow. Like, I'm gonna go with the flow, but I'm very strategic. Like, I'm very organic with things. Like, I walk in the room and it's like, this is what I'm expecting to get out of this. But if it goes a different way, I'm gonna just go with the way as long as I'm comfortable with it. You know what I mean? But I'm all about going with the flow and letting my story tell itself. Like, the company started in college. This happened, that happened. We started doing farmers markets organically. In the pandemic, we switched because we used to supply cafes and restaurants and supermarkets. Pandemic happened, restaurants, cafes, right? So, okay, cool. Alternating, you know what I mean?
Right.
Pivot, right? Pivot all pandemic.
I just want to press both of y'all deeper on that question before we go to the next one.
But
in terms of
real quick, I want to drop a gem on that one because he basically said the going with the flow also incorporates him not being afraid to just tell his story that's going on right now. It's the right now story, you know.
Right. There was definitely an ownership that, like, I'm asking for this. I appreciate this now. Everything that's happening isn't to be taken for granted. But I just want to press deeper before we go into the next question on that branding topic, because I understand that we're talking about the story, but there's a particular niche part of branding that that y'all both have done very well. For instance, the average person who walks in this, and if they only look for 5 seconds, they're going to say coffee guy, flower girl. Okay. Can you tell us on your story to choosing what product and service you wanted to do, how it spoke to you, your culture, and the needs of your community? At what point you said, if I need to do flowers for 10 years, this is different from doing oranges or stocks or nursing. The coffee is different from doing nursing or basketball, or right? What made this the brand that you can stand by and say, I'm that dude, I'm that chick? You get what I'm saying? Part of my slang, but you get what I'm saying? Like, that's the niche where people are gonna come in and say, you do flowers, you do coffee. And if that's your niche, you're gonna be like, damn right, I am the one for that.
So, I mean, for me, my work speaks for itself, you know, and if I could make somebody's day better, I know that with my products, I'm part of birthdays. I'm part of anniversaries. I'm part of holidays. I'm part of just making a happier moment. So for me to do that for my community, that makes me ecstatic. This is, and like I said earlier when I did my introduction, every single thing, every product that I put it out like if it's for myself, like even my business cards. Like it literally is pretty and this and that. And it's because I take everything serious, you know, and if I mess up at any given moment, I want to make it right, because my brand is to make any moment a happier one. That's like my little line. That's my slogan. I'm here to make any moment a happier one. So
any moment a happier one. Wow. That's not just flowers, y'all. Mic drop.
Another gem.
Yeah. It would dropping straight gems over here, man. Y'all gotta start taking count. You know what I'm saying?
taking notepads out.
You feel me? Yeah. I would say in terms of the branding and stuff like that. Like for me, I made a joke when I was 16, and I said, "Listen, if I'm gonna be selling drugs, it's gonna be coffee." So I looked at Starbucks.
Wow, I remember it too,
bro. The line at Starbucks busing. I'm like, yo, how? Like
legally
and expensive.
You know what I'm saying? It's
state to state.
I used to just look at that like, yeah, that's crazy, right? Like just looking at it as a young kid, that's crazy. But when I started doing research, right, I'm a very numerical dude. Coffee has a $300 billion industry, $300 billion industry a year. That's the revenue, $300 billion. Now, do I want the whole pie? No, I just need 1%. That's $3 billion a year. 1% doesn't seem like a lot, but when you take 1% out of that pie, it's just $3 billion a year. Now, let's say your cost is 50% of the revenue. You're netting $1.5 billion. I could probably be a billionaire from the Bronx, the first coffee billionaire from the Bronx, from the hood. You know what I mean? So
that sounds like a bar too. Coffee billionaire for the Bronx.
You feel me? So it was one of those things where for me, like the numbers made sense. Numerically, there's enough market for me to walk into this world. What do people do every day? They drink coffee. People don't even look at their wife in the morning before they have a cup of coffee, right? So it's one of those things. And these are things my customers tell me. I don't make these things up. I only say factual things. So for me, it was one of those things where it was like, it's something that's consumed every day. What do people consume every day? Gas, water, coffee, salt, sugars, right? This is an essential item that's consumed every single day. Pandemic happened. What happened to coffee? Not this. It was like, woo. People at home now consuming coffee every single day. Work from home, WFH. What you doing, Todd? Brewing my coffee. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things, you know, where like, for me, it just seemed like the
Is it fair to say your brand was more about showing a purpose in what you do, showing that you provide value to the community? Your brand isn't so much about the product itself, although it is a premium product. We got that. But if I'm hearing you correct, tell me if I'm way off. What you're saying is when other young sisters and brothers from the Bronx look at you, you want them to say, whether you do coffee, flowers, whatever your thing is, I'm showing you that find something that people really need, that you could provide value forever, even through a pandemic. It's more of a value brand.
Yeah, I would say our company slogan is coffee that cares, right? I've been looking to reserve the name because Nestle launched a company years ago that was called Coffee That Cares, but they still own the name, but they don't have a brand no more. So it's our unofficial slogan because I couldn't make it official because legal terms. All about the lawyers.
Lawyers, tap in with him.
Paperwork, baby, paperwork. If the lawyers ain't approving it, we ain't doing it, right? Bars. So it's one of those things. Yeah, our slogan is Coffee That Cares. Coffee that cares. Now, what do we care about? The environment, the people. It's organic, it's natural, it's fresh, right? It's artisanal. And that's pretty much what it is. We care about the community. We care about the coffee. We source our coffee directly from the farm, so we pay them a more equitable price, you know what I mean, rather than the Starbucks or other big companies that don't really, you know, based on the market research, this is not just me saying it.
Okay, so it is about the product too. Okay.
Well, it's one of those things where, like, there's a good branding. I got the gift of the gab. I could sell you anything, but does the product match up? That's the bottom line. If the product match up, people are not coming back, and it's not sustainable. Now you got to make it sustainable so people can come back, and that's how you blow up. If people don't come back, you ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? And I think small business owners sometimes struggle to match the quality or fastness of big corporate companies because they have 2,000 employees. But at the same time, it's like consumers understanding that we don't have the same amount of resources, we don't have the same amount of money and capital.
Unless you invest more.
Right.
Unless you buy our coffee more.
Right.
You want more support.
Right.
And you know what? Not to in the vein of support, right? A lot of times we have this whole mentality of, yo, I want to buy black and brown. I want to make sure that I'm helping my people and so on and so forth. And just to drop a gem for those who don't know, and I'm pretty sure my little brother's he'll tell you himself. Coffee's like, I don't know, what's the famous coffee? What does everybody drink Spanish?
Café Bustelo.
Yeah.
Café Bustelo. Café Bustelo is not ran by black or brown. So when you talking about,
you said it.
hey, that's why I'll take the weight off and let you know that when my little brother is out here selling his Don Carvajal Cafe, that is named after his grandfather, by the way. You know what I'm saying? You are supporting a brand of your own when you're saying you want to buy black and brown. Now, this is not to say that if Bustelo is your favorite, and listen, lawsuits if you want to, but you know, we could play the game. Listen, when you buying Bustelo and that's your favorite coffee, go ahead. All I'm saying is try Don Carvajal Cafe and let it simmer in your mouth before you decide, nah, I'm just sticking to Bustelo. And all I'm saying, the reason why I'm saying that is because, and it's going to go into my next question for the both of y'all. When you're talking about support, right? A lot of times for us, for ours, we're not, and this is not to exclude anybody, I'm not excluding no culture, religion, none of that. But for us and ours, a lot of times, we don't carry the same weight of support that many others do. So if somebody from a different culture says, hey, I'm going to start this new this new business that creates cans, it don't even matter what it is. They're going to have that financial and background support for them to carry that out. But with us, with our culture, a lot of times, we don't have that same support or that financial backing or even that belief that some of your own will even buy your own product. So with that being said, if you don't mind me asking, do the two of you feel like you have received thus far, have you received the support from those close to you that you feel is to the maximum beyond their potential, where you feel like this support right here is going to help me get where I need to be?
Can we get a round for my brother Light, because he asked questions like that. That's what you get on the Sound Minds podcast. It's around 7:45, 7:49. My brother Light. Let's get into it.
I'm gonna jump into that one. It's interesting because I think it's a combination. It's a combination, man, and you'd be surprised on the good and the bad, right? Now, I would start off on the bad side so I can end off on the good note. Now, it's one of those things where it's like, yo, we homies, let me get a discount. I still have a cost to produce. I still have labor induced to produce this. I still rent this to produce that. I still import that from there. So the discount, like I love to, like if I rock with you, I might just give it to you for free because I got that type of love for you. You know what I'm saying? But when it's homies and it's this, that, yo, let me get the discount here, discount there, you're not really supporting anything. You know what I mean? Like that's not support. I think that's like the biggest block, right? And sometimes people are not like, yo, that's too expensive or this or that. And it's like, it's not that it's too expensive. You just don't see the value in it. You got Gucci on your waist. Clearly, you see the value in that. You know what I'm saying? You literally leased a Benz. You don't even know. And you see the value in that. You know what I mean? So let's really get down to the nitty gritty.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's one of those things. So people love to pick and choose, right? But let's be realistic here. Now, on the good side, I would say like for me, my mom. Like I told my mom was a gift because, you know, when I was younger, I wasn't the best student. You know, I wasn't the best son. And me and her had a good conversation. And she was just like, yo, what do I need to do to support you and what? And like for you to get your life together. And I was like, yo, just support me. Give me a roof. Help me out some way, somehow. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? We'll figure it out. But like, just trust me. You know, I'm a kid. I'm young.
Hector, I don't want to cut your gems.
Go.
And I'm going to tell you this off of experience of seeing you. I don't know about the young or when, you know, the young Hector, but I know the Hector I know. You've always been a great student. I don't feel that you were taught properly. And there's a big difference, because a lot of times somebody could not be good at tying sneakers until they're taught how to tie sneakers properly. And when I seen you in class, you were phenomenal because you tested the brinks of what needed to be questioned. Where a lot of times, a lot of people are just like, okay, cool. We should be celebrating Columbus Day. Okay, not a problem. Let me just write that down on the test. Where you was like, nah, hold on. Let's talk about why we celebrating a man who slaughtered people. So I'm sorry for cutting you off, but you've never been a bad student. I feel you've always been a great student. You just needed to be matched by a greater teacher. You know what I mean? So I'll just put that out there.
I agree.
And you saw the value. Every time you talk about your coffee, your phrase, oh, it's valuable, you just don't see the value. This is what I'm talking about, brand. I'm understanding how you talk about yourself and how you talk about people you care about. Coffee, the business. I have one mentor who always told me your business is a metaphor for your soul. And that's what I haven't said yet. When we talk about your flower business, when we talk about your coffee business, every time you say you don't see the value in it, you took that college program and you saw the value in it. You took the scholarship. You saw the value in it. You took what your mother had to give to you. You saw the value in it. I think we need to just say that real quick, because a lot of people are so into gossip and subs on the internet. They'll make something what it's not. When this brother's saying, when this sister's saying, I will give you a discount, that's not a diss or a sub. It's saying you're already taking the time to be on my page. I'm going to give you an opportunity. Now, you still have to do something to follow through. That's what's going to say if this was just cap or not. But I will give you a discount if you're serious. This brother's saying, I don't know if you see the value, but I'm going to keep doing what I do for those who do see it. Now, if you want to try it out, if you want to try matching this value of a coffee with the regular joint you get off the shelf, then you're welcome to do that, right? And then you will see the value. But if you're just talking, then I'm actually do this thing that we can compare.
Yo, Pat, my fault. Get back to the support, brother.
The support. So
we the students here. We learning from y'all.
But I would say, yeah, that, there's people who just don't see the value in it, who want the discounts and stuff like that, and it's cool. If you actually signed up for the email newsletter, you would actually get discounts like every other week. Just saying. Mm-hmm. But anyways, it's one of those things where, like, when I looked into my family, like when I growing up, it wasn't really too connected. You know what I mean? It was very disconnecting for me here. And then once I started building with my family and just making my circle tight, and just go. When I went to school, like light skin knows, Harry, my boy, like and it was two of my boys, Anthony and Harry. That's it. It was like 100 kids in that school. Me and two of my boys. You know what I mean? Once you make your circle tight and everybody's on the same mindset, you know what I mean? The same vision, like, this is what we're going for, and we're going to unite and we're going to get there. Like, we're going to get there. Yo, forget going out, bro. Save that bread. Forget entertaining this. Forget entertaining that. Oh, you want to fight? Honestly, bro, I'm good. You can have that.
You actually had those conversations in your circle.
All the way.
At this young age, you were actually having this conversation in your circle, and that would help you go through you would say the rejections, right? Here's a question that adds to that same question, and it's from our chat. Dad is not a noun. As entrepreneurs,
hold on, Rob. Let Diana mention the support question first. Let her get into that, and then we'll hit that question right up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I think I say the same thing as Hector. I mean, when I first started my company, I started seeing, my mother's my biggest supporter. She was here helping me Valentine's Day, Mother's Day. We were here cutting flowers, everything. My mother's always my main support system. She helps me with everything. So without my mother, I would not even, there would be no Boxed Up Blossoms. But when you start your business, you start to see, like Hector said, you have these real conversations with your circle and make sure there's no squares in your circle, because I think as a Latina woman, the hate is going to come. You know what I mean? It is what it is, And so sometimes you got to be careful to make sure that hate is not in your circle, because then your whole, I don't even want to curse, but your whole,
you got a waffle. Squares in your circles give you a waffle.
You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, and it's scary a little bit because, you know, as you keep these people around you, you start to think like, nah, that's my sister, you know, that's my brother, nah, that's not, he would never. It might. So, like he said, just making sure that as you grow and elevate, you have stable, solid people who genuinely support you. As I continue to grow Box the Blossoms, I started seeing strangers reposting more than my family and friends sometimes, and I would feel a certain way, like, yo, you posting your Yeezys and your Gucci's, but you can't post Box the Blossoms? Like, you doing raffles and posting this and you can't post my... And then I started to realize you can't take it personal, all right? Because if they're not going to support you, they're not going to support you. That's it, all right? They don't like it or they don't... It's all good. You keep doing it.
You know, it's the crazy part. They joined the boat when you pop off.
Yeah.
Once they saw me on TV, it was like, yo, heck, crazy.
Right. And so I feel that way too sometimes. But you know what? I don't say it in a malicious way. You know, it's not even no subs or shade. But it's the truth. You know, it's the truth. And it's just it's a good thing though. It's such a blessing. It's such a blessing that you can see that, you know, as you become successful. You know, we're under 30, so you know, we're not maybe in the same mind frame as our friends and peers. So maybe they feel like, you know. So just like I said earlier, keeping those squares in your circle, keep doing you, keep believing in your brand, and whoever's gonna support you is gonna support you. And that's it. So.
Gems.
So question though.
The follow-up question to that, because we're dealing with, you know, clothes. Like this is closely related people. And the question from the chat from Dad with a noun was, you know, as entrepreneurs, how do you keep yourself mentally together before because often we don't talk about mental health aspect of it. You know, because I think that also plays on a mental health aspect when you're getting rejected from your family who you think is going to support you, but they're not, or you got people saying, you know, that type of rejection is like, it's also a mental health battle. So what is your response to that?
That is such a great question. I'm so happy he asked that question. Shout out to him. That's such an amazing question because it's the truth. I want to say for Valentine's Day and Mother's Day, I was so bombarded. I was getting anxiety. I said, oh my God, I can't do this. It's just me. I'm one person. What am I going to do? And then I had to stop in a moment and be like, this is your blessing. This is your time. This is what you wanted. So you take that moment and you do whatever the hell you got to do. And like I said, I took my mom to sit me down at my table, like, shut up and get it together. And mentally, I think a lot of times if the business is not booming or I'm not getting to where mentally I want to get, it's frustrating, or if I'm overwhelmed, you know. So I think I'm very spiritual, you know, so I always pray every morning, every night. I go to the gruta, I get my holy water, and I mentally take breaks from social media, from everything, and just sit in my moment, and I'll write, read, whatever I need to do to regroup and refocus. Because I know, you know, Hector can relate, as when it's all just you, it's 10 times the amount of everything. It's not a 9 to 5, it's 24/7. You know, my website is open 24 hours a day. I could get an order in at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And as he mentioned, it needs to be a fast turnaround time because our competitors on Amazon or this or that, whatever, they're delivering, you're going to get it by Tuesday. So I want to ensure the same quality and the same expectations. So regrouping, having great people in your corner. You know, I'm spiritual, so I don't know, you know, I don't want to throw that out there, but always praying and thanking God and just getting on it.
You could say always tapped into your spiritual side. You could say it like,
I don't know.
You gotta say it cool. You know what I'm saying? I be tapped in my spiritual side.
Yes.
You know,
I'm tapped into your energy.
I'm tapped into my
energy.
energy.
Into your energy.
You feel me? You know,
because that's so important. Like whatever you believe in, God, the universe, science, whoever, whatever you believe in, but something to just make sure you keep that good energy and good mindset around you.
Tap in. That's what's up. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in there, man. And this one is gonna be packed. It's gonna be a lot, right? But but I'm all about systems, man. Systems, right? I built systems. I have 25 of the same shirt in 5 different colors. Now, when I wake up in the morning rushing, I know what shirt I'm gonna wear. I just gotta pick a color. I have 3 pairs of the same pants. I just pick a color. You know what I'm saying? I look at CEOs, they don't wear Gucci. Warren Buffett, Jay-Z, one picture, not one Gucci belt in sight. Whoa, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things. But mentally,
whoa,
for me,
drop a gem. You just bodied, you just 3-0'd Instagram.
I'm sorry.
You just
man.
bodied Instagram.
Instagram,
Just
hold
off,
it down.
yo, just off that, off
Rest
the
in
first
peace,
15 seconds.
Instagram.
This show is called the Gem Show.
You know what I'm saying? We mining gems out here. We mining. So
Okay.
I would say, for me, it's all about building systems, right? Like 2020 for me was disastrous. It was like your survival. I sacrificed so much. I'm in debt this much, and this pandemic not gonna make me go under. Nope. So I was working 7 days, hustling. My whole team. I had a team of 7 people. I was doing my job, which is like 10 people's jobs, plus 7 other people's jobs, right? So I was working crazy hours. You know what I mean? And at some point for me, I fell asleep driving once. That's how tired I was. I hadn't slept in 72 hours hustling, yo. And then that was that. I gained weight, and it was one of those things where I was like, yo, what's the point of having wealth if you can't have no health? Like, you can't enjoy your riches, right? I remember watching this Bob Marley video, and the guy asked him, like, you have so much money, you have so much richness, right? And he was like, my richness is riches of life. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it was things like that, just seeing that, like, you know what, like, start taking care of yourself. So in the morning,
How you mean when you say riches? What type of riches?
Where y'all rich?
My riches is the riches of life.
come on, man. You know what I mean? And that's when I started realizing things, and I was like, you know what? Let me start taking care of myself. I'm gonna start eating cleaner. So in the mornings, I have like a 1 hour to 2 hour routine. I wake up early. I go to the gym. I run for like 40 minutes. I just like to run and just think. Right? That's my thing. I'm just clearing my mind. I get home, I make avocado toast. I mash up my avocados, throw some salt in there, some peppers, you know, some
you just saved another $15 right there.
Bro, you feel me? I make my coffee and my I take my, you feel me?
I'm sorry, for those who don't live in New York, the Bronx, gentrification, avocado on toast is now $15. Please continue.
Facts. Market price. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where I build a system. I wake up by a certain time. I have breakfast. You know what I mean? I like making my own breakfast. I get to eat clean. I get to make it myself, and I save money. You know what I mean? I make my coffee, and I sit right here, and I just sip my coffee. I just chill. If I want to watch an episode, I watch. If I want to listen to music, I listen to it. If I want to call my friend, this is me time. You know what I'm saying? So I have very long days. For me, my morning is me time. If you call me at 7, and I don't want to talk to you, I'm not picking up that call. You call me at 8, I'm not picking up that call. It's me time. It's me prepping myself. I'm looking through my Google Calendar. If it's not on my calendar, it ain't happening. You know what I mean? It's one of those things, yo, if it's not on my calendar, it ain't happening. You know, yo, because my days are crazy. So for me, it's building that structure and finding good people, good energy. You know what I mean? Going out with my mom, you know what I mean? Taking her to dinner and just talking, just hanging out. Yesterday, I was with 2 of my good friends, and we just went to a spot, had some chicken and waffles over here at the spot, and we was just kicking it, yo, just talking. And for me, it's little things like that just adds the value. You know what I mean?
That's the mental health. That's right. That's kind of like, instead of drugs and alcohol and all these other things, you're preemptively dealing with giving yourself that peace of mind.
Right.
So I got a quick question for y'all.
I had another one too, man. Oh my.
I gotta ask y'all, what is your biggest struggle with your business?
Oh, that's a good question.
Let's go. We going deep.
This ties back to saying I forgot to bring the last.
Drop the bomb on them. We going deep.
You're ready loaded. I gotta simmer this through because there's so many struggles. There's
I
so many.
love how y'all working together, by the way. Like, I feel like we had a Young Entrepreneurs panel. Like, y'all could go on tour. You know what I mean? But don't forget, like, when you go on tour, don't forget to big hit.
Outside. Yeah, it's something I was gonna include in the last one because it's a part of like the mental state, right? But for me, it's picking my team members very wisely, right? Like, I just hired a sales rep, account manager, right? Because we sell like 40-cent supermarkets and cafes, and for me, it's a lot to manage. You know what I mean? Right. But for me, it's all about finding the right team members.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like and this ties back to the last one, right? But it's all about finding the right team members that give you that good energy. People that keep the trash can full and don't tell you the trash can is full, they take the trash out. People that have initiative. It's all about having initiative. You know what I mean? And I started thinking about the last question. I actually forgot what the question was.
It was the struggles. What are your struggles? What are your struggles?
Okay, cool. So finding the right people, good energy.
All right, that's your struggle.
People who, because nowadays unemployment going crazy. Who wants to work?
Yes.
People getting $700 a week. Who wants to work, right? So finding good people who see the same. People will never see the same amount of value in what you do as much as you, but people who at least respect it and will show up on time and will do the best that they can to their abilities to get the job done. You know what I mean? But other than that, I would say the main thing is just capital, network. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things where, like, we don't have 250,000. Somebody told me that for me to build the roasting space in Cafe in the Bronx is going to cost me $500,000. I was like, where is this kid from Fordham gonna get $500,000? You know what I'm saying? So I did a Kickstarter crowdfunding campaign. Boom. Let's get some capital, zero equity crowdfunding, right? And people like Marcus Lemonis from The Profit got to see it. Why? Because of my network. We went viral on Twitter and Instagram, but because of the network. You know what I mean? So I would say the biggest struggle, and this is me connecting it to how I battle it at the same time, right? The biggest struggle is capital, network, expansion. You know what I mean? Like it's tough because we don't come from wealthy backgrounds. We don't get small $3 million loans like Donald Trump did. Right? One of those things. But I was, and I could go on, but those are some of the ones I highlight.
I think some of my struggles at the beginning was finding the right vendors because, I sell preserved roses. So my roses aren't just roses that I could get from the flower market, even though I did sell fresh flowers for Mother's Day. And that was so dope. And I can't wait to continue that. But I sell flowers that last beyond a year. So it was finding the right vendors. And as Hector said, capital, that's the most important thing, is making sure that my funds is right, making sure that I'm making some kind of profit, and I'm working with the right people, marketing, and what is my next product going to be? For me, that's always it. What's my next? What am I going to drop next that people are going to love and it's going to sell and I'm going to enjoy doing it? What is it going to be? That's always a struggle for me too, because I always want to make sure that my products, they change. I do different collections. So I do Valentine's Day collection where I started adding lights in the bear. And people loved it. So now that's just part of my products. What's going to be different for the next season, And then now there's not really much, holidays. Now I have to do graduations and birthdays, anniversaries. So we keep on that, and just staying consistent. That's a little bit of a struggle. Just making sure that I stay consistent.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that, because now I want to add something else to it real quick. A lot of people hit me up and people tell me, yo, can you help me with this? And sometimes I tell them, like, yo, honestly, no. Because me helping you is like me biting myself in the foot, because now I'm taking time from my craft to yours. Yeah. And I remember my mentor in community college used to always tell me, heck, to stop taking bricks out of the house you're building to give to somebody else. Because I would stop doing my homework to help the homies. And it was like, the homies don't care about your grades. You got to take care of your own grades. And I was just like, when I'm done, I got you, bro. When I'm done, mine, I got you. You know what I mean? For us, I would say the biggest thing and I saw somebody in the comments talk about research, right, and discipline. For me, what made me who I am and build the brand that I have was the research. I researched brands. I looked at brands for years, right? Like, just I went back into the data, right? Back in there. I looked at companies. Starbucks is a public company. You can literally look at their marketing strategies, their revenues, their expenses on their website. Literally, there's an investor profile on there for you to look at that. They're a publicly traded company. It's public information, right? And it's one of those things where I would say most entrepreneurs, most people don't do their research. And I think I got that quality from the value I saw in my education, right? And they taught me how to research things in a business way, right? And how to find the right numbers to educate you on how to move, right? And at the same time is innovation, finding yourself, finding your voice, you know what I mean? Pivoting. Sometimes you hit a wall and it's like, man, like let's
What were you in school for specifically? When in class?
Yeah, I community college. I did business administration. Then I switched to liberal arts and sciences, and then I transferred to University of Rochester, and I did business marketing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm actually graduating next month with my bachelor's with a major
Yeah.
in business and a minor in psychology. So
Oh, there
that's
you go.
great. So business has helped so much in my business, though. Honestly, the things that and sometimes I would like kick myself in the ass, like, damn, I went to school and I finished so late, but I have my son, he's 5 now. So I also, aside from my business, I work.
Yeah.
So I have so much different things going on. I have a job, I have my son, I'm in school. But I am so grateful that I finished my degree now, that I could appreciate those classes. Because I think at like 18, 19, I wouldn't have given a shit about business, this. I wouldn't have. But like for me, at this age, finishing and appreciating all of those important things that I can take from my personal business has been such a blessing. So God's timing.
Facts.
And not only that, but I gotta say that at the end of the day, this is Miss Diana Lee's race. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you finishing when you're finishing. Shout out to you for finishing when you did. Because there's a lot of people who get their masters and doctorates by the age of 24, 25, 26, don't have a family to really speak about. So they making all this money and doing it. So you got your beautiful baby boy, who, by the way, is your twin. You know what I mean? So, but for what it's worth, you did things at your own pace. Yes. And it doesn't, I think a lot of times with a lot of us, what we do is we a lot of times set these ladder rungs where we're like, yo, by the age of 25, I want to be married. I want to have a house by 27, 30, 40. And then when you don't hit those marks at that particular age, you're sitting there like, so, but the fact that you are graduating, the fact that you have your own business, there's a lot of people who have doctorates that don't have their own business. They didn't jump and take that leap of faith on their own. You know what I mean? So, that's why y'all on an episode called YOUNGTREPENEURS, because y'all really did it at a very early age where there's other people, I'd even put myself in that category, where there's a lot of things that I wish that I would have done, but I got distracted because of other things that were going on. But y'all didn't let those distractions stop you. So now it's just a matter of taking that leap of faith and now injecting all the ingredients that you already have, having a family, being, having one more year to finish in your bachelor's, Hector, and all that. And it's just kind of like, all right, cool. Now I'm doing all this. I'll get back to that when I get back to that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So shout out to y'all. Ra, I know you had a question too.
Research as a mother, when you're doing these weddings, when you're doing these anniversaries, when you're doing these bridal showers, you are a mother, right?
Yes. And like I said, bringing all of that into everything I do, I do it for my son. That's my inspiration. Graduating college and seeing him, having him see me graduate and, have my own business. He knows. He'd be like, Mommy, we got to go to the post office for Box the Blossoms. I'm like, yeah, come on. I'll give you $5. But teaching him young, that it's not.
No, he's seeing it. Him seeing it young. That's
we started here in this living room. And I have a whole showcase in my dining room. This is where we're gonna start. And this is for my son to understand that you start somewhere and you start rising with the ladder. But it's not given. There's nothing given in life. You have to work hard.
There's a lot of depression happening right now, and there's been more experts instead of just selling the drugs on it who've been talking about what depression is and why. Pardon me. And what they're saying is, depression is a state where people have ridiculous high expectations that they can never live up to, right? So you telling your son exactly what you said, not just you could do anything, which is what a lot of our generation was. There was a lot of you could do anything, which started leading to this big depression. It's like, this is how you do anything, step by step, manage your expectations. Yeah. And then you could do, St. Francis of Assisi said, start by doing what's possible. Pretty soon you do what's difficult. And before you know it, you're doing what seems impossible. But that's because you start step by step. And speaking of show and prove, I don't know if both of your moms are watching this, but happy belated Mother's Day. I noticed the theme. Y'all both talked about your moms. And shout out to all the moms out there. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen my son's mother.
My mother is definitely in here.
She's in here?
My mother's definitely here.
Salute, madam.
You know,
Mothers are a secret ingredient in this podcast, apparently.
Facts.
yes, it is. That's
Facts.
a fact.
Secret
That
sauce.
is a
Secret
fact.
sauce.
What about fathers? I don't know if we have time. Are fathers like a motivation to like to are they like a negative motivation? Are they like should we not talk about
I
fathers?
mean,
Or
I
should we-
got you. I already know where this is going. I look at it like this. I was really raised by my mother, right? So when I was in school, when I came to the United States of America, my name on my passport was Hector Luis Castillo Carvajal. And they looked at me and said, young man, too long. So your new name is Hector Castillo. Hector Castillo. That's my name. That's why light skin referred to me as Hector Castillo, because that was my DOE name. And when I went to college and studied liberal arts and sciences and the history and what George is just talking about, right? Like questioning Christopher Columbus Day and things like that. And I was like, yo, how come they took my mother's last name off, my name, and she was the one who raised me?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
So then I started signing this. What? Hector Castillo Carvajal. Yo, that's not what your school ID. I'm like, I know that. I know it don't say that. And I already put in a request because I need my mom's name right there because she was the one who raised me.
Mm-hmm.
Our brand is Don Carvajal Cafe after my mother's father. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things. But I love my dad. You know what I mean? Oh, he didn't raise me. He wasn't there as much as he should have been, right? But we get one life. We get one life, man. You get one dad, one mom. I show him mad love. I show my mom mad love. And honestly, I look at my future kids, because I don't have any right now, and I'm going to give them everything I didn't get in a way that doesn't spoil them to make them feel like they could have the world. And now you're going to, like, my kids are going to go put onions in the yard.
and maybe your last name too, if you stick in there.
Yeah. Me and my future wife, because I don't got one. I'm gonna have to talk about that too. And the last name.
Yeah, man, you already know. You already know.
Thank you, brother. How
Sound
about you?
Sound Minds is
sister?
definitely here for that one.
No, same. I mean, my dad was around, you know, and I love my dad to death. He wasn't around, you know, as much because, you know, he went to move into Florida. But you know, he was always, you know, tapping in and checking in, not as much as my mother, you know. But like Hector said, there's all love, you know, and I love my father. He's a great person, and you know, my mother's amazing though. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
Yes, she definitely is. Yes, she definitely. Our second, third, and fourth. Then.
Jen,
Yeah.
and read between the lines, fathers. We got different roles.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I think so I gotta ask you this I guess one of a few last questions, but what is your ultimate dream with your creation? Like with your business? What is it that you envision, or what do you want ideally? What is your ultimate dream once everything is said and done?
My ultimate dream is for me to have multiple storefronts across the United States. I want to have a Box of Blossoms here, there, everywhere. I want us to do weddings. I want us to do celebrity weddings. I want to be everywhere. That's my dream, you know. And so I think the day that I open up my first storefront, I'm going to be ecstatic because it's going to come because I manifest everything and I work really hard. So it's coming. But I want to start here in my home. I want to start in the Bronx. I want to open up something here, you know, for people to be like, this is Diana? No, this is not Diana Lee's. Yeah, it's mine, you know, and just to give back and just so it could just feel home, you know. And then I want to go everywhere, all around the United States. I want people to be able to walk in and, you know, always be consistent. Like I said, I want us to be at every happy, emotional, and just every moment that we could make a impacting impression on. That's my dream. That's my goal. You know, nothing crazy.
That's the energy.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah, I'm actually cooking up my second phase right now. I remember George, phase one. Remember that phase one. Yeah. Cooked up a song one time. Me and Light Skin. Yeah, that was a class.
Oh, you was rapping?
It was a class project, and the professor wanted me to write an essay, and it was a creative class. I was like, "Can I make a rap song?" He was like, "Man, that's so creative."
Yo, that's exactly what I did at Stuyvesant High School in New York, which you know because y'all from New York. It's on my bio. You did that too?
Yeah, Light Skin.
Bro, I'm gonna get your text number from Light. I'm gonna get your text number from Light. You my little brother now. Get the hell out of here. Nah, yo, Light. This is nephew. You heard me?
Yeah.
So I will say, since he brought it up, yo, I love this dude.
Speak
Man.
on that.
Yo, this dude hits me up. Yo, I got this project. You think we can sit down? I said, yeah, sure. Let me know when. I'm coming in right now. I said, yeah.
Well, damn.
But, yeah, so I mean, I want to say within 10, 15 minutes, we already had that done. He even shot a video.
You was like ambitious little
Yeah,
nigga, right? You was like,
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, but he shot a video. He did his own. He did his thing.
I shot the video on the camera by myself. Like I put it. I would go stop it.
Video. We need the video drop. Drop the video.
No, it was like it's on YouTube. It was like a class project. It was nothing crazy, but it was the initiative of like, yo, I got this. And I was trying to get my boy Harry to do it, but he was too busy. And I was like, you know what? I got a camera. I know how to edit. Like, let's get it popping. So I shot it, mixed it in, cut it, added effects and whatever. You know what I mean? Like it was a whole shebang. But it was.
But you turned it from something you had to do and something what I like to call you got to do.
Yep.
In other words, when you get back to the block and they go, "What you doing?" and they're like, "Oh, I gotta write this assignment." You came back to the block like, "Yo, I turned an assignment into bling blang blang blang," and you could catch it on YouTube. Like you turned what you had to do into what you got to do.
Facts. In terms of the face thing, you know, so the name of that song was Phase 1. Crazy. Now the name of this project, I keep on calling it Phase 2, ironically, right? But it's the Phase 2 of my business in the sense of this is our first brick and mortar coffee shop, specialty coffee shop, that's roasting room in the South Bronx, Hunts Point, right? So we're doing a Kickstarter right now for 60,000.
Wow.
Say that again. Where? What? When?
Hunts Point, man. Fall 2021, man.
Yo, for people that don't know about the point, that's saying a lot.
Yeah,
he is creating
community. And since you said that, you know how many people have went up to me? Yo, I got a building in Brooklyn, just come through. Yo, my man's got a spot in Yonkers. Yo, way better community. Yo, you don't want to come to Queens? Like we got you. Like, you sure you want to go to the point? And I'm just like, yo, like I'm from here, bro. My business has been in the point for 2 years. Like I grew up on Fordham, and my business has been in the point for 2 years. Like, yeah, I'm trying to build where I'm at, and it's one of those things. You feel me?
You're a humble dude. Like y'all all listening to this need to make that pilgrimage when he opens this up and when we post the Kickstarter campaign, so you can understand. And shout out to the Point organization too. But like that's a community that is only waiting. It's one of those communities where people don't even want to gentrify it because it's not cool enough for them to gentrify. You get what I'm saying? And then once it's gentrified, they want to come in and take it. But there's culture there, there's community. It's the last of the Mohicans to a degree. You know what I mean? It's like certain corners of the LES where it's like they don't want to even go yet. So you're saying a lot, young man, to say I am gonna own this before other people come in and say the value. I'm gonna show us our value. I salute you.
You know, you just sparked another crazy thought, man. You guys ever heard of Spofford and Hunts Point, the juvenile detention center? It's built on top of that.
Wow.
That's
dope.
It's built on top of Spofford. Like it's crazy how it's insane. It's the sense of like something that used to something that used to harm us, right? Something that was used to bring us down. Now we're flipping it and building equity within that space. Something that used to marginalize us. We're flipping the script and building equity on top of that same soil, right? And the owner of the project, she was just like, yo, like I've been wanting you guys here. And just the fact that the owner of the whole project was open enough to see the value in what I do and want me to be one of the key anchors to that space, to me was crazy. You know what I mean? Because once I looked at the history, as you can tell, I'm all about research. Once I looked into the history of what Spofford was, because me being a kid from the Bronx, we had a different one, right? Like it's based on zones. So when I found that out, to me, it was just crazy. So right now we're building that second phase of my dream, the coffee shop, the roasting space. And for me, it's like, for me to bring jobs somewhere else, I'd rather keep it in the community. I already have 7 employees. I'm only trying to get more, and I'm trying to keep it going and keep it in my community. I could teach people the coffee game. I could teach people roasting or barista training or whatever. Give them a skill set. You know what I'm saying? And for me, my whole life, I was looking for an opportunity. So I built them for myself. I was knocking on doors all day. Nobody opened them. So I drew one, put a doorknob and just opened it. You know what I'm saying? Drake has a line. He said that one day I'm gonna buy the buildings with all the doors that closed on me. Crazy. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things for me. It's about building an opportunity for myself, keeping it in the community, and providing opportunities for other people too. You know what I'm saying?
Is that a building coming down that he's about to rebuild right there? Oh my God, let's go. This is the Sound Minds podcast, man.
Yes,
if you is
fam.
liking what you hear, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, follow from wherever platform you is listening to right now, man. We are dropping gems you don't want to miss. No more gems on the Sound Minds podcast, man. We is here. This is going down right
Word
now.
up. Do not miss these gems. And while we on live, right? Rakim said, follow the leader, Rakim, right? We are setting the trend. So if you are on this live right now with us, or if you see this later on, there's no harm in the fact that the websites that you will be visiting today, I would hope, are boxedupblossoms.com, right? And then Don't Cara Cafe, where you are going to purchase these items, right? Because again, we're building equity within our own and serving the purpose of letting it be known that we are worth more than any box, any category we'll ever be in. So I know my brother, shout out to my brother's queen. You know what I mean? They just had an anniversary.
You already know. I'm glad you want to segue into this now, right? It's like, yo, you know what? It's crazy because we go on so like for an hour and a half so easily. Shout out to the family for sticking with us and listening. You know, but we also have a special segment for this podcast because I mean Diana Lee is selling flowers. I mean, who don't need some flowers from, every now and then or every anniversary? And then, man, shout out to my queen.
I heard somebody's anniversary. So happy anniversary to y'all.
Thank you. Shout out to my queen. You know, we just had our anniversary on the 15th, our 6-year anniversary, on the 15th. And it's only right that we order right now live on the podcast.
Let's get into it.
Facts.
We actually look into the inventory, and I'm buying the queen something right now. Can you please walk us through? Let me share the screen. Let me share the screen right now.
We're not gonna share your credit card though, so we're gonna cut it.
No, we're not. Yeah, we're gonna show you what we picked. We ain't gonna share any other information, but
don't share the Bitcoin wallet.
Come. Are you? Did you start from the homepage? Show them the homepage first.
So let's go from the homepage. Yep, you're right.
Start from the homepage first.
So here we go. Walk us through, because I'm looking anniversary status. I know we have the Mother's Day collection, which would definitely be a collection I might, should I look into this? Is this still available? Or should I go ahead?
Available. So I'm gonna have to, update it to the spring summer collection. Those are my mom boxes. But if you wanted to look and actually see all the products and different things, I actually have it all assorted. Let's see.
On which tab? That would be, so we have the Endless Circle tab where the Endless Circle
those are my circle boxes.
Which are all sold out right now. If we wasn't live right now, we could probably work something out. But
absolutely, we live. Those are actually rose soap. So these look like roses. They look like flowers, but they're soap. You can click on whichever one you want, but it's soap. It's not flowers, but they look like roses.
But they're shaped like flowers.
They're shaped like roses. And you see the packaging. They have scents to them, very light. And it's just really made for, like, you know, you wanted to get romantic a little bit, or you wanted to relax a little bit. You add just a few petals, you know, inside of the bubble bath, and it creates a good scent for you to just relax. And then it's cute. It's rose petals. So that's really cute for date night, or, you know, an anniversary.
We have the box soaps.
And
then
those
we have
are
the
more
box
of
up
my
rose.
soaps. Yeah, those
More
are
soap. These
yes.
that's actually a lot more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those
Okay.
are
I don't know if I want to go with the soaps. I'm thinking, ooh, hold up, the Forever Teddy Bear collection, which is, you actually say, is your baby collection.
Those are my babies. That's how I started my business. So I started my business with these floral teddy bears. They're forever because they last forever. They're made of foam flowers, so they're not real flowers. It's artificial foam roses, and they last forever. You know, they're not. You don't. There's no care. They come in these beautiful clear boxes that you might have to dust off from time to time, but that's it. You can see on the bottom right the Blanca Iris light up there. I can also add lights to any bear. So, you know,
so if this is a red bear, it can be with the lights.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, I need that. I need that one.
All right, that's it, done.
I'm
Don't
sold.
out there.
So which one do I pick? Do I pick the Blanca one? I order the Blanca one with the lights, or
so the Blanca one is a little bit more bigger than the white one. I mean, than the red one is a little bit more taller in inches. And the red one is a little bit more smaller.
Size difference.
They're so pretty.
I mean, it is what it is. You know, you go big or go home, right?
And then
right, fellas. Should we go big or go home?
Facts.
I should be like, whoa, hold on, I should be getting some bells in here or something like. No, okay, no, I like this one though. I really, this is dope. Look at the detail.
Yeah.
You know, and you can actually sit this on the nightstand for however. Okay, yep, I already got visions. Now, y'all don't got to know my visions yet.
And then I also sell single preserve roses. If you didn't want to, you know, buy something really, because I have big floor arrangements with preserve roses. But if you guys wanted to buy something small, like, you know, just one single rose, I have those available too.
Those are, yes, these are very actually.
And all of the preserved roses last about 2 years. So with no care, no watering, no nothing, just letting them live their life.
Look at that. As y'all see,
I'm sorry,
look,
could you say that again? The years?
Very accommodable.
I'm sorry, could you say the years again for people who are still on planet Earth and don't realize that you are providing a service beyond anything they ever imagined? That you are creating the photograph version of flowers that don't just last for a day or a few days, but are basically like a film, a photograph, a memento that is capturing the favorite moments of their life. You said how long?
My roses last almost 2 years.
No, you did not say that, man.
I did say that.
For this price?
I did say that. I did say that. I did say that.
You know.
So for those of you who don't know, the whole Beauty and the Beast flower thing, that rose really came from Diana Lee's box of blossoms. We ain't gonna talk about that. You know what I mean? But there may be some copyright infringement papers about to be put in against Beauty and the Beast.
On the line.
Well, for the sake of time, let's go ahead and make the purchase. I definitely think I'm going with the light up bear. I need the lights in it. You know what I mean? I need that. So I'm gonna go ahead and click buy now. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to add to the cart. We're just gonna buy now. You know that y'all could see the process a little bit.
And
okay,
again,
now you give all your information and stuff that y'all can't see. So I'm gonna unshare my screen.
Yeah. And don't forget to put salmons.
And as y'all speak on that, on what the whole process of checking out, I'm gonna go ahead and do the checkout.
There you go. And my brother Hector, as my wife is a very big coffee drinker, I'll be buying me some Don Carvajal Cafe, you know what I'm saying, and see what the madness is about, because the young man has been in Univision and all types of interviews on Spanish channels and English channels and everybody want to know the secret to his coffee. So, you know, I definitely want to get into that as well, man. So I'm putting my word on this live. Light Skin will be buying some Don Carvajal Cafe, you know what I'm saying, and see what my brother is doing. And then I'm definitely going to tap into Miss Diana Lee's Box of Blossoms soon enough when another soon enough. I got some birthdays or something coming up soon. So, but you know, I want to and for the sake of time, I want to respect your time, and I just want to let y'all know that I am honored.
So, by the way, I put in that code, and it does work, family. Put the code in.
Wait,
what's the code?
It's a movie.
It don't
Is it
matter.
over?
Look, this could. How long is this code gonna go on for how many days? What we talking?
Let's do it for a week.
There we go.
For a week.
Until the next episode.
By the time you see this, spread the
Until
word.
the next episode, spread the word to everybody. If anything, if you want to watch the whole episode or not, spread the word so you can get that discount on the Box of Blossoms. You know what I'm saying? Sound Minds, SoundMinds. That is the
Instagram clip.
There you go. Yeah. So just want to let y'all know it's been a blessing, an honor. I am beyond appreciative for your time. You know, Sound Minds thanks you, and not only do we thank you, but now you have us in your corner. So now we're going to be supporting and doing what we do. But for the most part, your presence and essence can't be matched at all. So I'm so blessed to say that I've seen you guys from where I met you from at the tender ages, and now you guys are soaring beyond belief. And I just want to thank you for not only being who you are, but staying true to who you've always been. You know what I'm saying? So you don't see that a lot nowadays. A lot of people switch up way too quick. You know what I'm saying? So to see y'all be who you are and still doing what you're doing, I can't tell you, everybody watching this now and everybody who's going to watch this, trust me when I tell you, you want to put your money into hard-earned sweat, blood, and tears. And not only that, but the work that's being put in, it's not only for the individual, it's for the community of us as a whole. So go support, y'all.
Right.
And for confirmation, the order has been confirmed. You know,
it has been proven.
Look, she just got the confirmation.
She said, "I do everything myself at this point in time." She just confirmed your order has been received.
It's confirmed.
That's social proof right there. That's there was no cap. He got the order. He's on it. Wow.
No cap. He was not lying. Yeah.
only the cap he got on his head.
Either. I just want to highlight you, sister. You are not lying. As a business owner who does what you do, a lot of business owners don't even know what's coming through their website. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you spoke about that, and that's really you in the trenches with it. And I know what that means. Only because I do some with my music, we all do stuff like that with the digital. What that means is that you probably getting these things, sending people messages before they even getting it, saying thank you for your order, that type of thing. That's what you don't get from these corporations. You know what I mean? That's what we need. Community, people creating relationships, continuing customers.
Yes.
So salute to you. Y'all are our teachers. This whole thing has just been us asking you, did you say what I thought you said? We want to be like, yo.
You know.
So,
shout out to everybody in the chat too, because everybody in the chat definitely was tuning in, and Dad would have now also said, make sure you get some Father's Day flowers ready. You know what I'm saying? Like he gonna be ready. You feel Dad with his noun is not playing. He represent the dads out here.
Right. Dad is not a noun. He be on that heavy, and my brother's always supporting. So he definitely trust and rest assured for the most part, if you have a Father's Day special, Dad is not a noun will be there to be supportive and be there for whatever you need. You know what I mean? So I also want to say I would love to see a collaboration with the both of you. If it could happen, you know what I'm saying? Get some coffee and some flowers together. You can't beat that. You know what I'm saying? So whenever, or anybody else who wants to get in contact with Mr. Castillo Carvajal or Miss Diana Lee, I'm not going to say the last name right now, but whoever, so whoever wants to get involved, please reach out to them, and they're also going to give up their social medias and so on and so forth so that you guys can connect. But at the same time,
Their ats are in the
There you
title.
go. There you go. And the websites as well.
And the websites are in the description, and the ats are in the their social media is in the description.
More fire. All right,
And
there you
know what we're
go.
gonna do in the
I'm
future.
opinionated, man, and thank you for everything. I remember Rap Poet. He mentioned is finding something is it about finding something that everybody consumes, right? I just want to culminate it with this. Is it about finding something that everybody consumes or something somebody does every day? And my mentality is this, because I didn't really get to answer that question. It went over my head. And the answer in my face to success is be passionate about whatever you do. If you hate your job, quit your job. Quit your job right now. You know what I mean? Find something that you're good at. You know what I mean? The Joker said it. If you're good at something, don't do it for free. While he was robbing a bank, he's good at robbing banks, right? Listen, if you're good at something, don't do it for free. Find something you're passionate about. If you like being a teacher, be a teacher. I was on a call with my lawyer last week, and she said, yo, I could never do what you do. Your risks are crazy. But I'm a risk lawyer. I mitigate your risk. That's my job. That's exactly what it is. She said she could never do what I do. And I told her, listen, and that's why you love what you do, right? And you help people like me mitigate my risk. So everybody's journey is going to be different. Ice can touch on that earlier. Everybody's journey is going to be different. We all have our own paths in life. It's all about driving, staying in your own lane, and finding out what you're good at, what's going to work for you. If you're on, don't be there for it. But we all have a destiny. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people it's not about, you don't have to own a business to be successful.
That's right.
You could be the best non-employee that could ever exist. Listen, I don't have weekends. I don't. I work 7 days a week. My friends be chilling though, and they like that. But I'm cool because when I'm 30, sheesh, I'm gonna be different, right? But that's, I just wanted to end on that note. You know what I'm saying? It's find your passions. Find out what you're good at. Find some good mentors, man. Sometimes you just gotta leave the neighborhood to see something different. Sometimes you gotta go to Westchester County to see a house to find out that you want a house like that. You know what I'm saying? And just rubbing shoulders in different neighborhoods, So that's, I just wanted to get on that note. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate this opportunity so much. Just being able to just talk about my business and how me and Hector are going about our business and our struggles and all the good and the bad and I'm very, very grateful for you guys. So thank you guys for having me so much. And I'll definitely be buying some coffee because I love me some coffee.
There you go. There you go. And with that being said, I just want to shout out, if you see the sweater, again, this goes on the vein of support. This is from my brother, from the Lower East Side. And it's called Just for Laughs and Shits. So you see the microphone being held. I promoted him before. We're going to probably have my brother sometime in another episode, man. But just, it goes in the vein of support, man. My brother's putting out hoodies. My young brother is making coffee. My young sister is making boxed up blossoms, and flowers. Support yours, man. That's all we can say, man. At the end of the day, we only become better and our foundation becomes that much greater if we support ours. It's so much easier to get them Gucci belts and to get that, that Caribe coffee or any Bustelo or anything else. But this young brother right here is making coffee. It's easy to go get some fake flowers from somebody else or get some real flowers from somebody else that is going to die. But Box of Blossom has flowers that last 2 years that are going to not only accentuate your moment, but they're going to make it that much more happy. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day,
he cares about you.
Right. Because these two right here, they care about the product, but they care about the community in which they serve. Right. So the community should care that much more to support them. That's all we asking, y'all. Let's be better together. And this is what this episode is about, y'all. Young entrepreneurs, this is the full 360. You know what I'm saying?
Two things I want to end off. One, similar to Light, I always wear my Sound Mind hoodie, but today I'm rocking my J. Cole. This young man is a perfect example of what you talked about. He came out talking completely about different than what people started talking about the industry, but it was because of people like y'all that listen to our podcast that said, we support him. He cares about us. We're going to rock this music. And now he's on, him and my brother Mez. You could check our previous podcast, Sound Minds fan Mez just dropped the off season. Go play that religiously while you drink your coffee, while you order your flowers. Support this and know that it's real. Support this and know that it's real. If you support people that support you, you can make a difference in your community. We are going to meet at Hector's spot in the Bronx, when Sound Minds goes and we do our live on location joints, I don't know when in the future, it might be once a year, it might be, but when we do location, Hector, you're gonna be one of our first hosts where we do it live, and we're gonna have some flowers there, and we're gonna have some coffee there, and the vibe is physically gonna match the mental vibration of what we're trying to do. Thanks to y'all young people.
Get ready, y'all. Get ready, y'all. Sound Minds will be hitting the road into 2021.
Yes, sir.
We will be going on all streaming platforms. We've been exclusive for these last 5 episodes, and we will now be on all streaming platforms after this 5th season. I'm telling you.
Right.
And we are going on the road. Let's go.
And all of y'all, for the most part, if y'all have Roku, go check out Roku. Sound Minds podcast is on Roku. Will be shipped real soon to other channels. We're not going to speak upon until it's fully done. Shout out to my brothers on the back end doing that. Or shout out to my brother Marty Mizzle, who's brokering that. Shout out to Marcus Cato, who did the beat for this 8-bar cipher. And you know, I know he's on here right now. He's been making a hella comments. Shout out to Daddies and Now, who's constantly supporting. Shout out to everybody who's on here. Miss Iris Ramos, much love to you. Shout out to everybody who has been commenting. And not only that, but for the most part, shout out to y'all for constantly being a part of us. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, merchandise will be out soon. Sound Minds, and I know my brother Marcus Cato, he was asking for some shirts too. So we're going to get on that. We're working on some brothers who are going to be doing the for the most part, the making of that. You know what I'm saying? So Sound Minds is, like I always said, man, Sound Minds is bigger than the podcast. Y'all, it's a movement. You know what I'm saying?
So this with that being said,
let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Sound Minds. Let's go, y'all. Have a great Sunday, y'all. Enjoy y'all week. Sound Minds on that box that blossoms, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Peace.